Get in, losers. We're reviving Tsukasa. Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry. Here with Everything Anime Podcast, open from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, whatever on topic we're talking about. Today's video is on Dr. Stone Chapter 141, The Strongest Primeape Revived. Now, when we last left off in Dr. Stone, if you guys don't remember, because we just talked about it yesterday, we had the Medusa weapon. We beat Erebara. We're leaving Treasure Island. Well, we've already left it behind. And the first person we're going to revive with our new Medusa weapon is Tsukasa. Now, I spoiled something that was in that video that I'm going to talk about in this video, so we'll talk about it when we get there. But if you don't already know, well, just because you're watching this for the first time, let me not talk about it just yet. But yes, we're going to revive Tsukasa with the Medusa weapon because he's a part of our Primeape cell to go into space. We need a pilot, I almost said astronaut, we need a pilot who's obviously going to be Ryusei, a scientist who's obviously going to be Senku, but then we need a fighter, someone that can handle these new enemies that are coming that we don't know who they're going to be on the moon, or who the Y-Man is. And of course, we need the strongest fighter on our Kingdom of Science, and that is Tsukasa, who is currently on ice. We put him on ice after he was stabbed by Hyoga, who, he came after his sister. What is Tsukasa's sister's name? It ain't coming to me, but he tried to stab his sister. Well, he knew it was a ploy because he knew Tsukasa would protect her, but he caught Tsukasa off guard and stabbed him and dealt him a fatal wound. But Senku and Tsukasa managed to take Hyuga down either way. But still, that's where we last left off. The only way to save him was to basically put him on cryo sleep. Since we don't have actually access to cryo sleep, we actually used a giant freezer and just kind of let his body freeze. But again, here is the reveal that I put in the last chapter that we found out in this chapter. It turns out it's not going to be that easy to use Medusa weapon. Why? Because it's out of juice. And we do not know what powers it. We don't know if it's a battery. We don't know if it's magic. Well, we know it's not magic. We know that it's science. Even though it gives me magic. I don't know how Senku is not believing this is magic. This looks like fucking science. This does not look like science to me. It looks like magic. But yes, the Medusa weapon's out of juice. I actually spoiled this in the last video, but it's revealed in this chapter, which I found very interesting and clever because obviously, if we had the power to petrify every enemy we come across from now on, there'd be no threats. So obviously, the Medusa weapon, even after we secured it, even after we know what caused the petrification of all humanity, we can't have access to that unlimited power. Otherwise, we'd abuse it. Well, not the Kingdom of Science, but we had the potential to abuse it. So it being out of juice was very clever to me. But I was like, what does this thing run on? The Y-Man is commanding it from oh wait, so here's a contradiction, and I noticed this in my notes as well. When Senku tried to activate the Medusa weapon over the telephone to Erebara, who was holding it, it didn't activate because you have to be closer to the weapon. But the Y-Man tried to activate the Medusa weapon over radio waves, over telephone as well. And the Kingdom of Science freaked out. Before they knew that, it was out of juice. They freaked out before that. So I'm like, if we've already confirmed that the Medusa weapon can't be activated via a telephone, why would they freak out when the Y-Man tried to do it over telephone? Just food for thought. I'm not sure if that was an oversight in the writing, or maybe Senku's voice wasn't loud enough. I don't know. I mean, obviously the Y-Man's done this before. He activated the weapons from space, but he could have put them on a timer and then sent them to Earth. We don't know how the Y-Man did it, but it is just kind of weird because the previous chapter you had established that it doesn't work over telephone. You have to be up close. Otherwise, Erebara would have been frozen and we never got that cool face-off between Senku and Erebara. Well, it turns out that Senku knew the moment that Senku knew the Medusa weapon was out of juice because the moment Erebara was petrified, he commanded it to activate over 5 meters, but it only stretched it was 1.5 meters short or something like that. And so he knew it wasn't at full power, it had lost its juice. So I was like, well, obviously Senku being clever and knowing numbers and things like that, obviously he would have caught that. I would have never caught that. He tells us that Kirasame, who is at one point is trying to argue with him, but then she thinks back to what the master had told them. He's for example, he had told them back then, don't use it over a wide area. The Medusa weapon's power cannot be abused. For example, trying to cover an entire island as Erebara did. And then using it multiple times. And on top of it, they've been petrifying people constantly. We saw all those people underwater in the beginning of the New World arc, and then Irabara just abusing it constantly, to kill men that came to save their daughters, husbands that came to save their wives, So he had been abusing that Medusa weapon for a long time. So the max power probably just maxed out when he used it on the entire island. So yeah, that made sense that it would be out of power. Now, Mira, that's the name of the younger sister of Tsukasa. That's whose name I forgot. She still wants to try to revive Tsukasa. She's like, look, I know the Medusa weapon's out of power, but please, can we still, just try to save my brother? It doesn't matter if it's out of juice. Let's just try to believe. Even if it can just do an ounce of, petrification, it'll petrify its whole body. Because, again, we already know, even if a piece of your hair gets petrified, the rest of your body gets petrified. That's why you gotta cut off your hair, cut off your limb, the only way to stop the petrification. She begs Senku to use it and hope that it can revive her brother. And I love that before Senku can even say anything, Taiju immediately places his hand over hers, kind of crushing hers in a hilarious way. But Taiju's doing it because he cares a lot. He's like, no, we have to believe. We have to believe that this will work. And then, one by one, the others join in. Kohaku, Senku even, I think Chrome was there. I can't remember everybody. But it was given, the bond of friendship from Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time, the main character's in, some kind of, danger or, they might not win. Taya says that legendary speech and then, all their bond of friendship, fixes everything. Very cute, but it was extremely powerful here because it does work. And Tsukasa is revived. And this amazing panel where he just breaks out of the rock and earth. And it just, I was gushing on the plane, guys. Because again, I was reading these, I think I read these 10 chapters up to 150 on the plane. And I was just loving it. The reunion with his sister is also very heartwarming. I love this panel of her crying and him patting her on the head. Just me being the, second oldest sibling and having I think I have 4 siblings under me. There's four of them: Nick, Angelique, Tristan, and Kwame. Yeah, I feel the same way with my siblings. Even my older sister, she was my best friend as a kid. And also, I love the respect that Senku and Tsukasa have. They show for one another. They don't, directly look at each other. They're, walking past one another. And, Senku, kind of half looks at him. He's like, hey, welcome back, you big oaf. Or, welcome back, strongest Primeape or something like that. And then Tsukasa's like, hey, good to be back, basically. Now, it was just, again, because we've seen that respect from Tsukasa and Senku when they first met again, even in the Stone Wars. Tsukasa kind of showed respect to Senku and Senku vice versa. Even when Tsukasa thought he killed Senku, he showed him respect. So, again, just really great bond, the friendship we've seen within the Kingdom of Science and all of Dr. Stone. Now, once Matsukaze, which yes, I know his name now because I've seen that episode of Dr. Stone where he's revived. It's Matsukaze. Once he gets a look at Tsukasa, he wants to test his strength against him. Which, mind you, this is the warrior that blew Kurosame and Kohaku out of the way with ease. That doesn't mean anything for strength. I mean, we know Kohaku and Kurosame are strong, but Mozu was stronger than Kurosame / Kohaku, but it still gave that, it gave the impression that Matsukaze was really strong. He challenged Tsukasa to spar, even though he just woke up, and Tsukasa's like, okay, let's do this. Without lifting a finger, Matsukaze swings his boken at Tsukasa, and it gets obliterated on his body. So Tsukasa doesn't even lift a finger. He doesn't even try to move. He doesn't even try to fight back. It just shows the significant difference in power. Tsukasa is the strongest. Hyoga was right to be afraid of him. You cannot take on Tsukasa by yourself. You needed to weaken him. You need to catch him off guard. Amazing fucking chapter. It's not over yet, but just amazing fucking show of show don't tell. Amazing. Sukiya then asked Senku why he doesn't just use the Medusa weapon to clear the cracks on his forehead like the others did who have healed, after their second revival, because when you first get petrified, and you come out of it with an nitric acid, there's cracks on your body. Well, depending on how long you've been petrified for. I think if you've been recently petrified, you don't have any cracks. But the second time you're petrified, any cracks you have on your body, they're completely gone. And so they're Sukiya's hey, if it had juice to bring back Tsukasa, maybe you can use that juice on yourself. But Senku says he's not concerned about the cracks on his face. He's more worried about taking out a Y-Man at this moment. Which makes sense. Like, you know, he's like, oh, these cracks, no big deal. I've gotten used to them. It's part of me. And honestly, it gives Senku like this unique vibe. Though, and we've already seen Senku without the cracks. It was Hyoga who revealed his handsome face, who put the Kakashi on us, the Kakashi we wanted, that came out all handsome. And I was like, damn, Hyoga kind of fine for a psychopath. But that's when Gen, Taiju, and the others began war painting themselves. Since everyone had a second revival but Senku, they're all like, you know, all of our scars are gone, but you know, until we take on Y-Man, we're gonna wear these like war paint. It's basically also to make Senku not feel left out because he's the only one that has cracks. But I love that like they do this. They say it's because it's like their war paint, but they're doing it so Senku won't feel left out. And they like, we'll take this all off when the war is won. And obviously Senku will have his own cracks removed at that point as well. But again, very great chapter. That's the end of my notes of this video. That's probably the end of the chapter as well. I think the next chapters are bulky, so I'm not gonna like speculate because I know what happens. But yeah, just knowing Tsukasa was back, just a very great fucking chapter. And the reunion with his sister, because he never got a moment with his sister, because the moment his sister was revived, Hyuga attacked him. So this is like their first like, you know, like actual bonding moment together. And then again, Senku and Tsukasa showing each other respect because Senku promised he'd bring Tsukasa back, and he was a man of his word, and Tsukasa trusted him anyway. Tsukasa knew Senku would not go back on his word. And he's just happy to be back, and I'm just happy to see all these characters come together. I cannot wait to get to the end of Dr. Stone and we do the ranking video, the ranking tier list. I don't know who the Y-Man is, but the Y-Man's currently going to be S-ranked because of all this mystery and story around him. Oh, can't wait. Anyways, I'm going to drag this video out because I have nothing else to really say. So on the video here, I'm working on some other videos. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero just came out. I actually own a copy. Let me show you guys that. The videos I'm working on. Currently, we're going to be doing Sparking Zero at some point. You guys don't even talk about Sparking Zero. You guys know you're going to play it. But I'll give my own impressions of it, or probably just like I'll do first impressions, but you know. Mortal Kombat 1, the Chaos Reign saga just came out. Playing that, loving that. We still got to finish Epic Mickey because, you know, I'm really excited. And especially because I found out Epic Mickey has multiple endings based off the way you play the game. Should be saving that for the Epic Mickey review, but just throwing it out there. It's fucking amazing that it has multiple endings. And obviously Rise of the Ronin, which I have not played since March. I do like Rise of the Ronin. I love Ghost of Tsushima. Can't wait for Ghost of Yotai, whatever. And then we have to review BioShock. So a lot of projects coming, a lot of video game projects. So don't worry, this is not just a whole Dr. Stone channel. We got about 5 games to beat, and that's not including what's coming out in the future. So, yeah, look forward, guys. Can't wait to talk about them. See you guys in the next video. Talk later. Bye. Hey, guys. This video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home, seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99, and if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far, and then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament, and the series original ending, Arado the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these, but I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Reign Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Decays right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.